On today's solo episode, we're going to talk about getting yourself out of your comfort zone and jumping on social media and doing videos, reels, stories, and all the things, and how to get the right mindset to move forward into the next steps of scaling and growing your social media confidence. Today, I wanted to talk about social media and how to get out of your comfort zone. And I realized that how much social media has an impact on our businesses, especially in the beauty industry. I know we all went to school for aesthetics, hair, all the things, and it's just trying to figure out how to get yourself into the marketing role. I realized that I really needed someone to help me with the marketing side and putting all this B-roll, all this content together. But I've had a new realization with social media and how much I truly enjoy creating content. I know a lot of us are creative and love having a creative outlet. That's why we love what we do in the aesthetics industry. But I really realized that a lot of the reasons I didn't post on social media was imposter syndrome. And I didn't feel like I had a direct purpose or a reason or why I should be jumping on and actually filming. And people are going to wonder, who the heck am I? Or why do I think I need to do this? And living in a small town, there's a lot of these voices that you hear or you think you hear about what you're doing. And you put the excuses there. And Danny and I were talking the other day, and we were saying how much founders need to be on social media, especially when it's a product line business, and showing the behind the scenes, showing that you're actually involved in the business. You're the one there filling orders. You're the one that living and breathing this product and the whole experience of it, whether that's purchasing from your wholesalers, filling orders, on the direct messages, customer service, all the things. And I think that's what people realize now is it's such a consumer-based world, and people want to know that they're not just buying from some generic company. They're really supporting and helping other female founders. And we take pride in that we're a full female-owned business. We definitely bootstrap this whole thing, which is definitely an episode we could chat about as well. And just your own experiences on and putting your own finances and money into building something. And that's what we've done with all of our businesses. And I really take pride in that. And I really realized that this year that I need to share that experience and really film the behind the scenes. And people, like McKenna said on our episode, my social media manager, we were talking about how people are nosy. They want to see what's going on behind the scenes. And we saw a huge amount of growth and spike in our sales when we started doing that. And if you go on your Explore page, a lot of the time you'll see content that you're already falling in love with and other friends and family are also liking. So be conscious on the content you're consuming and why you love it, and recreate it in your own little way. So some of the things I had for notes today was defining your purpose. So you really want to know when you're jumping on social media, I do that with the podcast as well, is really making sure that you have a clear reason on why you're jumping on social media. There's a sale, or there's a new product launch, or there's some exciting news. Maybe you were published somewhere and you want to share that, because you really want to make sure that you're creating conscious content for your consumers. And some people love doing like day in the life with me, or come follow me along for this experience, and really make sure that that's what you're filming when you start actually pressing that record button. And where to start? Just start small. Seriously. Like, I feel like Danny and McKenna are great at telling me ideas or different trends that are going on, or, oh, I need some content of this. And really what we started doing was just filming B-roll at the storage unit, just organically started doing it. And I just have so much fun, and that's the content I love consuming. So really just create small steps. Maybe just start making yourself accountable to actually do like one reel a week, or set some trendy music and just start having fun with it, getting your team involved, whether that's at your spa or salon, making sure even your clients are on board. A lot of them think it's amazing to be on your social media as well. So just make sure that you're starting somewhere, really making that decision to move forward and taking those first steps. And it can be something so simple, even just recording yourself talking about your monthly specials on stories. Just get yourself out there. People want to know the face behind the business, and you will see a huge difference in your engagement, as well as your following, your client booking, like just everything about it. Now, authenticity authenticity matters. Oh my gosh, you can tell I've been talking today. Matters because you really want to make sure you're yourself. Like I was saying this on the podcast with Monica and Donald, just talking about who people see in person and the person they see online is the same person. Whether someone meets you for a service or they meet you on social media, you really want to make sure that you are yourself. You really want to make sure your audience knows that as well. And some different trends or features or things that make you stand out that aren't just what everyone else is doing. Really talk about your story, really learn the things that no one else can do that you can, or you're the expert in, right? So really create that perspective and experience and kind of the aha moment that people find you relatable and they can actually kind of see themselves in you and talk about your journey, talk about your struggles, be a person. And I think that's the other thing that is huge on social media is everyone just tries to sugarcoat everything. It's almost like too glamorous. And that's definitely Instagram. I feel like TikTok is more authentic. It's more raw. It's more behind the scenes, not as candid. And that's what I absolutely love is social media. You can take it how you want, but that's what I try to do as much as possible is really use that platform to share my experiences and just inspire people. That's what I absolutely love, especially with our younger followers, our co-op students, our staff who are younger than me. I just want to inspire them. And that's what we can do on a broader audience with social media. If you're wanting to try 3 ships, this is the opportunity. Save 20% off until August 31st with our promo code Beauty Brand Podcast. If you're wanting clean beauty, female founded, as well as great quality products, this is your sign to go purchase now. Don't forget to use 20% off with our discount code Beauty Brand Podcast, valid until August 31st. Happy shopping. So learning something. So really make sure when you are sharing something or you're a spa or salon or a product line, make sure you're actually using social media to constantly evolve. You're learning, you're updating different things, you're educating people. People want to learn, right? And that's why I think TikTok took off so well because there was like all these hacks, right? Things you could learn or different tools you can use in the kitchen, etc. So really use your platform to educate. I talked about double cleansing. This was like so long ago. I should probably do another like skin routine video, but people want to see what skincare products you're using and talking about them and learning about it. And that's the way, like I look at HB Face, Haley, she just blew up. And I think that's why her social media and her online store just went incredible. They just went insane during COVID with social media too, because she was present. She was online sharing what she's using on her face. She was doing tutorials and people want to learn. They want to know what you're using and how they can also get those products and use them themselves. Now, this is a really tough one. Ignore comparison. You really want to make sure that you're not looking at what everyone else is doing, really stay in your own lane, which is hard. That's why in past episodes, I've talked about how I sometimes don't follow a lot of like our local spas or salons or like people that I feel like I may give me too much influence or ideas. I want to be my own person and my own kind of platform and ideas and how things just organically come to my mind and I bring them to real life. And that's where I find with your audience and just being very transparent, but even with your brand, like there's so many brands out there's so many new brands coming out there, and really think like what makes you different? What are other brands not doing? Or like even consistency, honestly, like what are you doing consistently in your brand that keeps people coming? Even ask them, like, I know I say like ignore comparisons, but at the same time, go through your reviews and see what people really love about your brand or why people follow you, and really hone in on those. It's hard sometimes with social media because we enjoy a certain type of content or we're engaged in that, but look at the analytics, see what's actually trending upwards on your account and really hone in on that. And don't listen to the outside noise. I always say, like, people follow you if they want to follow you. If they don't want to follow you, they can unfollow you. So if there's people that are giving you a hard time about certain things you're doing, they can mute you, they can unfollow you. That is their decision. And that took me a long time to get my head wrapped around that and not feeling kind of weird about posting on social media, if that makes sense. So really ignore the comparisons, focus on your own growth, your progress, rather than comparing yourself to others or the engagement rates, right? Like we can get so caught up in the engagement rates and then we don't end up posting anything at all. So really be yourself on there. Like we were saying earlier, be authentic, be you, and just start recording. Click record and start posting. Now, engaging with your audience, this is massive. So make sure you're commenting, whether commenting on comments, on posts, your messages, asking questions, really go into who you are, your personality in these. Send voice memos. I love that. Just because then you can actually hear the tone of someone's voice. They know it's you, especially on our podcast. I love when people send us DMs and I can send them a voice memo back. Because typing, you just don't get the same, the excitement around it and the tone. And I think it really helps building relationships. The followers, I just feel like just sense of community and support, right? So really make sure you're engaging in your audience, because just think if one of the people you were looking up to or the brands you were following, you might not be huge right now, but someone who purchased your product, they're cheering for you. They support you. They're giving you money because they love and believe in what you're doing. So really make sure you're engaging with your audience and just express, even if it's something silly on your personal page, right? Like really be yourself in those comments and give personality behind it, right? So you want to manage your expectations. So building social media can just be overwhelming, as we know, and hitting those milestones and the follows and the likes and the comments and all the things. But you really want to make sure that you're receiving the positive feedback that you're looking for. Set some goals, set some milestones, but also just manage your expectations. Just make it something fun. Like that's what we did with the podcast. The podcast was just like a passion project for me, and it's grown into something that I did not expect it to grow into. And that's where I kind of managed my expectation, where I felt like I was always like trying to grow and scale all the things I was doing in life. And the podcast is something like I never log in to Buzzsprout and look at the downloads. Like Danny will let me know every once in a while if we've like hit a milestone or we've got some award or something for something, but not very often. I actually go in and like maybe like once a year, honestly, I'll go in, or when we start a new season, and see where the downloads are at. And that's where I think it makes it a fun project, because you're just authentically doing it. You're doing it because you love it. We don't currently make much money at all doing the podcast. Sometimes through like sponsorships or through our affiliate programs, we'll make some extra money here and there, but it's definitely a passion project, and it's something that we truly enjoy doing, and it creates a community around our brands, both the spa and the product line. And I just love having people on and listening to conversations, advice they have, questions. I can kind of like get into the founders' brains of some of these episodes and just like really dive deep into these conversations. And for me, that's why I love the podcast. And that's where I manage the expectations of, I didn't think this would become even close to what it already is. And it's just something we enjoy doing. So make sure the things that you are doing on social media are things that you love, and you would just naturally be doing it anyways. So take breaks when needed. And that's where something we do a lot with social media, because it can become overwhelming, right? You find yourself feeling like stressed and anxious. And we always encourage taking breaks, maintaining a healthy balance, right? So I try to stay off my phone as much as possible on weekends, after work. I've really tried to keep my screen time down to like 3 hours or less every day, which I found a huge amount of just energy I got from not using my phone as much. So really make sure you're taking the time for the balance when needed, and then celebrate those wins. Make sure that like when you do hit those milestones, you're giving yourself that pat on the back and that excitement. So just give yourself that pat on the back when needed and stay motivated, and you got this. Jump on social media today, tag us. We want to see all the things you're posting, sharing, and I hope this kept you excited for social media, because it is a great platform. It's free and it's great content to grow and scale your business, but it's also fun to be goofy and be yourself. So make sure to also follow us on all of our social media pages, links below. Make sure to like, subscribe, follow. comment, DM, do all the things. So thank you so much for all your love and support as always, but make sure to get going and take the first step today on posting and sharing.